Hello, welcome back to Tarot Time with Andy. This is my vibrational reading. Please do your own research for entertainment purposes and allegedly. Hello, hello, hello. I got a request to do a spread on Brittany Murphy and her husband, Simon Moonjack, who both passed away. There's a lot of conspiracy. It's considered a conspiracy by a lot of people. Some don't, but she was found passed away in her bathroom. Her last job she was on a cartoon. I can't remember, but it was a really great one. She played a really funny voice. She did voiceover. It was really great. Anyways, that's what I last remember her doing. She was very funny at it. Anyways, Simon Moonjack was sort of living off her financially. I do know that. And so was her mother. So she was kind of financially carrying the load for everyone. A lot of people didn't really care for him. That's what I do recall. I've just kind of given out some of the rumor hearsay. So I have been shuffling and I have cleaned the deck and I am ready. Here we go. Please be clear. Please be clear. Simon Moonjack and Brittany Murphy. Here we go. So here we go. Conflicts in reverse. So far there's no conflicts in the terms of how things, because I was basically, while I was shuffling and cleaning, I'm thinking about their death. Okay, so just so you know. It's a death spread, in essence. Okay, and we have here, not getting any help, no financial help, the 6 in reverse. So there's no harmony. No harmony, but there was no conflict. So that didn't seem like probably there was a lot of, the home was not harmonious, is what it's saying for sure. And King of Cups in the reverse position back here. So that's interesting. That would be him. Or it could be her mother. I could clarify that. And we have the tower crashing to a lesser degree here. Wow. Wow. So right away, what I'm thinking here is he didn't mind it that much. To him, it was not the biggest deal. He was not in love with her, is how I'm feeling here. And he didn't help her at all with money. But yet they were not fighting. They weren't conflicted. They had peace within them, but it's not looking like a very solid, it's not a loving relationship whatsoever. It's the opposite of a loving relationship. And we have here selfishness. So this is really just giving me the nature of the relationship. Another conflicts in reverse with the wands. No conflicts. So there was actually peace in the home, but there was a lot of selfishness, and it's really kind of going around him being a selfish person. And with the 5 of Wands in reverse, we're looking at, there was no challenges between them on the paths that they were going down. I would say they were going down different paths too. With the Fool in reverse, they're probably likely just doing their own thing, living their own path, going their own way, just kind of living under the same roof. There wasn't much cohesiveness in their thought processes or how they wanted to do things. It doesn't look like there's much of a bond here. Oh, geez, that's why. Okay. So he kind of ruled her with an iron fist. He was the builder. He was there to build her up and build up her career. Help her out. But it doesn't look like it was a loving relationship. Under the surface, I have here, once again, there is no action to overcome. So he didn't work at it. It's looking like he just did not work, period. And that's what everyone says about him. The guy didn't work. Okay. I'm going to have to probably ask the pendulum about their deaths, which I already did, but I'll do it for the camera. And he was still not pleased. He just wasn't pleased regardless. So even though he was living off her, he still wasn't pleased. He was disconnected. They were totally disconnected. He was just this father figure to her, really. He was like being her dad with her career and her life, kind of helping her organize her life. But it doesn't look like a husband and wife spread whatsoever. Since this is his energy, I'm just going to ask straight and direct about her energy. Let's get and see what happens here. Brittany Murphy and her opinion of her husband. What was the opinion of her husband? What was the opinion of her husband? The opinion of Simon Moonjack. What was Brittany Murphy's opinion of Simon Moonjack? Ooh, that popped. I'm taking it. Well, in her mind, there was nothing but conflicts. A lot of conflicts. And very challenging relationship. She found it very challenging to be married to him. And she had a hard time, you know, juggling everything. It was very hard to juggle. So probably him making her schedule, being the father figure, controlling her career, made it difficult to juggle. She was having a hard time juggling everything. It was too hard, and it was causing a lot of conflicts with her energy and her strength, her ability to perform. Maybe that's why she went over to voiceovers, because it was a little bit easier on her. Then we have the reverse position with the Seven of Cups. I'm just going to pull some more out here. And then we have here the Wheel of Fortune underneath it. I'm just going to pull all these out. Oh boy, she did not love him. No. Okay, so what I have here in the past position is the Seven of Cups. With the Seven of Cups, this basically is choices. She knew she had a lot of choices in life. She could have pretty much whatever job she wanted, but she was conflicted. She didn't feel things were going her way with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And she felt that it was bad luck. And she wanted to break the cycle, being married to him. She wanted to break the cycle. And she couldn't balance her energies around him. It was too hard to juggle. She decided she did want a family at one time, and she did want to leave a legacy of her memory with her work, it's looking like. But she didn't love it. She wasn't loving work. She wasn't loving him. There's the Queen in reverse. That's an unhappy individual. There's addiction here too. With the Queen of Cups in reverse, there's addiction. So she had some addictions going on, and I can clarify that. And with the Five of Cups in reverse here, that is, here this person's very unhappy with what they're getting. She was happy with what she was making and getting. She was satisfied with it. Under the surface, she didn't feel she had a support measure. She didn't feel the emotional support she wanted and needed with the Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah. She didn't feel that she had anything to celebrate, basically. In the center of the situation, yeah, so there's a lot of depression. There was addiction issues. And in the center of it, she felt emotional loss. So it was not a happy marriage, not a happy home, period. The home life was not happy. She was satisfied with her job, though, and she was satisfied with what she was making, but he probably was not. That probably was part of the strife they were having, was he probably wanted her to do bigger and bigger and get on camera. You're only using your voice. You need to get back on camera, is the way I feel right now, just psychically, that his discontentment and his him raging at her is part of the problem here. Why she had addiction issues, why she suffered, because he was putting a lot of that emperor energy on her to do more. It's not enough, do more. Even though he wasn't working, he was trying to be the manager of her career. And that pressure of the addiction created a health problem in her. Because she was just emotionally suffering and she didn't have the support measures. She didn't want to tell people about the marriage because of embarrassment. Probably didn't want people possibly because of his energy. She knew she couldn't share it. So she had a lack of support, a lack of friends, because she was hiding this. She was trying to hide this, more than likely. There's a lot of shame involved when the home life isn't looking so rosy and you're trying to maintain this public image. So I think that's why she was addicted and sick. So it was probably pharmaceutical drugs, more than likely, antidepressants, benzodiazepines, things of that nature. She also had anorexia. That in itself, eating disorder, is an addiction in itself because you're addicted to staying thin. She had an addiction to staying thin. So that could have been the addiction as well. So let's get a spread on her anorexia, because she did suffer from anorexia. I think what happened was her anorexia and her low potassium electrolytes you get sick, it takes you all the way down. Just a flu can take someone like that down all the way, because their heart gets weak. With eating disorders, your heart gets weak, and many of them will die from heart failure. And so that is what I'm feeling doing this spread. I'm feeling that it was heart failure is what the message I'm kind of receiving right now is heart failure due to pharmaceutical addiction, along with extreme thinness, no body fat, all the how your body just goes all out of whack. Okay, so gosh, now I forgot what my question was. See, that's the problem with me. I get talk, then I forget what my question was. Whew. Okay, so yes, I'm going to ask, was it heart failure? Was it heart failure? I'm just going to ask heart failure. Was it heart failure? Well, back to not being able to balance the energies. So back to the balancing the energies, her body couldn't balance the energies. So that's probably what that is. Couldn't balance the energies. So what happens when your body can't normalize? All the systems are supposed to work in cohesive together. One thing goes out of whack, then it's sort of like a domino effect. So let's get some cards here on these, not managing her energies here, not being able to balance. Here we go. So we have here the 5 of Diamonds, and that is conflicts. And so there was conflicts with her body. There was total conflicts within her body structure. Conflicts. The energies within her body, that would be like saying your system's out of whack. Your system's out of whack, and there was conflicts in her body. And there was a karmic shift. This is a karmic shift. She didn't want this happening, but there's a karmic shift that occurred, a shift, and it took her out. She took her out of the family, olive tree in reverse. And so that would be the harmony in reverse. Her body was not harmonious. You have to have a harmonious body for your functions to all work together. So the body was not harmonious. It created a karmic shift, and it took her out of the family, olive tree in reverse, because her energies could not be balanced. She could not. The body couldn't juggle itself. It's a fine system. You know, it really is a fine system. Scarily so, you guys. And it was not her heart's desires, and it's the yes card. It's the yes card. It was her. She had heart failure. She went into heart failure. That's the yes card. And it was not her, obviously, it is not something she wanted to have happen because it's in reverse. The yes card, heart's desires in reverse. It was not emotional fulfillment to have this happen to her. Not something she wanted. Then we have here, and we have here. And it was all because she was overworked, on the hamster wheel, work. And so that put a lot of stress on her body as well, just like what I was feeling. The stress and the pressure of him getting her do more, you need to get on camera, don't just use your voice, pushing her to a point where she was too sick and frail, on prescription drugs, anorexic, couldn't handle it. Her body could not keep up. And then she got the flu or something, because they said it was the flu. She was sick for a while. She was on antibiotics or something, and she was found dead on the bathroom floor. So basically, it's just her body couldn't handle the stress of the flu or whatever, the bronchial, whatever she had going on. It was too much for her body. So let's calculate. That comes to 10, 11. 11 comes to, calculate, 11. 3 of clubs, blackbirds, which blackbirds is electronic communication. He had to get on the phone and call 911 as a result of this Jacob's ladder climbing situation. And we got this here. That comes to 19. 19 comes to 5 of clubs, crossroads, which basically, I guess, created a crossroad. Which is kind of crazy, a crossroad. She had a choice. I guess that's where I'm going to say that with the crossroads card. You know, it was a climbing situation, all of that, but she had a crossroad. She had a decision she could have made to say no. It probably was touch and go with her health, and maybe he chose to ignore it. I think that might be my next question. Did he choose to ignore it and allow her to get sicker? That could be a real kind of an abusive person to take that approach, to not get someone help when they're really tanking in their health. That's kind of allowing someone to die, kind of, maybe. I do get from the pendulum that it was natural causes, but it doesn't mean that he didn't sit by and wait for it to happen and wait till it's too late. So did he wait till it was too late? Well, I got the happy card. The Sun, seated situation, unhappy family. Breaking apart the family, it's the closure, ending closure. So I would say yeah. Yeah. He he allowed the situation to get to that point, is how I'm feeling. He allowed it to happen because they didn't have a family anyways. Maybe he wanted kids with her to solidify his position in her life and live there and be her manager slash husband slash he's living there free of charge, not doing anything. Wanted the position, and there probably was too many conflicts, yeah. And so he was actually okay with it. He was okay with it because they were disconnected. They weren't happy together, and now we have the Four of Cups in the reverse position, which makes he's okay with it. He was actually not too upset. He was not, it didn't bother him. There was no discontentment here because he didn't get the family. I'm thinking because he couldn't get the family with her, she probably couldn't have kids maybe because of her underweight status, the pharmaceutical drugs, possibly they tried, and then it couldn't happen. So he kind of let her health slide, is what it's looking like. Did they try for a family? What was the marriage problems? Was there a problem with pregnancy? Was there a problem with getting her pregnant? 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 There we go. We have here, yeah. So with the Seven of Pentacles, that is to plan and cultivate. So they had a hard time even planning and cultivating it. Yeah, they couldn't plan and cultivate it. Cultivating is, making it happen. So gaining experience as a parent also. They couldn't plan and cultivate it. She couldn't cultivate it. And maybe he had problems on his end. Yeah, and it created a tower crashing moment, an upset. And the Hierophant, and it affected the marriage. Yeah, because shame. It's the shame card in reverse. And it makes people kind of rebellious in a lot of respects because they're not following tradition. They're not following tradition. And that kind of upset him because he couldn't follow the tradition of normal life, of what he thought things should be, the way he wanted things to be. He wanted the family. It's looking like but I think he wanted to do it to keep his position, not because he loved her, because I did not see any cups cards. So it was really about him keeping the money and living a lifestyle. And he couldn't cultivate it with her. So with the Hierophant in reverse, yeah. And so that, yeah, excuse me, the High Priest, yeah, the Hierophant, yep. And then we have here, there was no gifts. A child is a gift. So there's no gifts coming because they couldn't cultivate. So yeah, they could not cultivate, meaning no child, all children are gifts. So yeah, could not cultivate. Sad. And it made her feel, she was actually not too bad off about it. It didn't bother her as much as him. Because she actually is a Queen of Wands here. And so with the Queen of Wands, she's confident. She was quite confident, and she probably thought she could, too. But it's not looking like it affected her too much. So let's see. Oh, Lovers in reverse. It affected the marriage. It affected the partnership and the duality there. That she was probably okay, like, well, I don't really need to have one with him. And she felt that he was kind of selfish for wanting it. Because she knew that the relationship wasn't super great, that he was more for business than for true marriage. So she was hiding the truth about the union. The union was not a love union. It was strictly business. And then we have here, yeah, and she really tried. She had to balance that energy. He was hard to be around, you guys. He was really, really difficult for her to even be around because she was like this when she passed away, pretty much. She had a hard time balancing herself around his presence. So he dragged her down, yeah. And it is the Judgment Day came for her. It affected her health to the point of Judgment Day and the Karma card. This is the Karma card. So it basically became really bad karma, really. And then we have here, than the Three of Wands that was sticking out. And that is opportunity. And so what ended up happening from getting sick, not being able, she was never able to balance her energies around him, getting that flu, getting whatever illness she had. You take addiction, you take extreme thinness, no body fat, not eating, your system's unbalanced, because we got this with her system. And it came in, the flu came in, whatever came in, and it was the perfect storm for it to happen. It became the perfect storm for this. And she also could not have children. He was upset. They couldn't have children. It upset him because of his position. So, yeah. And then we have here Two of Wands in reverse. It became no fork in the road. There was no option of that. It just removed the option entirely. There was no fork in the road to even have children. And so he had to come to terms with it. So they were kind of unhappy. I'm going to go straight to the center here. And it became an Ace of Swords in reverse, which is very guarded. They both became very guarded against each other. The relationship became very guarded. So it was not loving at all. It was sharp words, sharp communication, harsh words, not a loving relationship at all. I don't see any love here. She did not love him. He didn't love her. Strictly business. When I ask the pendulum, I will do it now because it's best for yes and no answers when it wants to tell me all the other aspects of it. Because otherwise I might be here an hour. So was Brittany Murphy's death natural causes? Was her death natural causes? Was Brittany Murphy's death natural cause? Was it natural cause? Was it from natural causes? Yes. So it was natural causes. Now I'm going to ask, did Simon Moonjack sit and wait for her to die? Did he wait for her to get to a point where it was too late? Did he wait to a point where it was too late to help her? Did he hold off on calling 911 to where it was too late to help her? I'm getting maybe. Maybe. So he hesitated and he paused. He didn't jump on it when he should have. He hesitated. He's not super guilty, but he waited way too long. He procrastinated on it. So was his death of natural causes? Was Simon Moonjack's death natural? Was Simon Moonjack's death natural? Was his death natural? Was it natural causes? Yes. Yes, his was natural causes too. And he was really quite overweight. He also was found with, if I remember right, I think he had a lot of pharmaceutical drugs in his system as well. So they both had a lot of, a lot of mental health issues that were going down in the marriage, in that house there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Until next time, like and subscribe. Bye.